The Prodigal Son, a story of redemption and unfailing love, Luke 15 verses 11 to 32. Jesus often used parables to teach deep spiritual truths, and among them, the story of the prodigal son stands as one of the most moving illustrations of God's mercy and forgiveness. Found in Luke 15 verses 11 to 32, this parable speaks of a son who strayed, a father who waited, and a brother who struggled to understand grace. Please watch till the end and learn the story. A bold request. In a quiet village, a wealthy man had two sons. The younger son, restless and eager for adventure, came to his father with an audacious request. "Father, give me my share of the inheritance." It was an unusual demand. Traditionally, an inheritance was given after the father's death, and asking for it early was as if he wished his father were already gone. Yet, with sorrow in his heart, the father divided his wealth, granting his son his portion. A life of waste. With money in hand, the young man left home and traveled to a distant country, eager to enjoy life on his own terms. He indulged in lavish parties, extravagant living, and reckless pleasures, surrounding himself with so-called friends who enjoyed his wealth. But money, like time, runs out. The young man soon found himself broke, abandoned, and desperate. To make matters worse, a severe famine struck the land. The once proud son, now penniless and hungry, had nowhere to turn. Desperate to survive, he found work feeding pigs, an unthinkable job for a Jewish man, as pigs were considered unclean animals. Starving and humiliated, he longed to eat the pods the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. A moment of clarity. As he sat among the pigs, a thought struck him. Even my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am, starving to death. I will go back to my father and say, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." Determined, he rose to his feet and began the long journey home, rehearsing his speech over and over. He had no expectation of being restored as a son, he only hoped to be treated as a lowly worker. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him. Day after day, the father had watched the horizon, longing for his son's return. And now, seeing his beloved child approaching, he could not hold back his emotions. He ran, an act unusual for a dignified elder in those days. He ran with joy, with tears in his eyes, with arms outstretched. Before the son could finish his well-prepared apology, the father embraced him, kissed him, and called for his servants. "Quick! Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Prepare the fattened calf and let's celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again, he was lost and is found." And so, the household rejoiced. The lost son had come home, not as a servant, but as a beloved child. But not everyone celebrated. The older son, returning from the fields, heard music and dancing. He asked a servant what was happening and was told, "Your brother has returned, and your father is throwing a great feast for him." Instead of joy, anger filled his heart. He refused to enter the house. His father came outside to plead with him, but the older son poured out his frustration. "All these years, I have served you faithfully. I never disobeyed, yet you never gave me so much as a young goat to celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours returns, after wasting your wealth on sinful living, you honor him with a feast." The father's response was gentle and filled with love. "My son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. But we must celebrate and be glad, for your brother was dead and is alive again, he was lost and is found." The deeper meaning. This story is more than just a family drama. It is a reflection of God's heart toward sinners. The prodigal son represents all of us who have strayed from God, chasing the world's fleeting pleasures. The Father represents our Heavenly Father, whose love is boundless and whose mercy is always available. Perhaps you relate to the younger son, having made mistakes, feeling distant from God. Or maybe you resonate with the older brother, faithful, yet struggling with resentment. The message of this parable is clear: no matter how far we've wandered, God is always ready to welcome us back with open arms. His grace is not earned, it is freely given. What does this story mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. My next episode will focus on mindset and the roadmap to follow. Please follow and subscribe. Here's my motivational quotes that maybe will inspire you in your daily life. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Matthew 7 verse 12. This verse, known as the Golden Rule, encourages kindness, fairness, and respect in our character toward others, reminding us that our actions should reflect the way we want to be treated. Please follow and subscribe.